Jumping into a manager role as a new position always will have its challenges, but it's even more challenging when the culture that you are now managing has been tainted. Have you experienced this as a new manager? This video will share a few tips on how to improve the culture in your workplace or your department as a new manager. If you're new to my channel and you haven't subscribed yet, please hit that subscribe button down below this video and the little bell beside it so that you can be notified of each newly released video. My name is Teresa, and I'm known on social media as the wonderful wizard of HR. And I like to help small businesses with gaining confidence and knowledge in human resources. Before we get into these tips that I have, I wanted to share a quote with you from one of my program members. The Complete HR Blueprint is the name of my program. And one of my members is a new manager in their organization. I have been working with her to help her try to make her culture better as she jumped into a role where the culture was tainted. And so we've had to work through some different systems and ideas to get that culture back to a more ideal place to work. So here's what she said to me directly in the call. I'm grateful for you being right once again and trusting that sticking to policy and sticking to our expectations will result in two things. They will either decide that they can't keep up with it anymore, or they won't be able to meet the expectations. What happened in this situation was that she was really trying to create a cohesive and a lighter type of culture in her department. And she was getting a lot of pushback and a lot of negativity that was spreading around the organization. And so we worked through some of these tips that I'm going to be giving you today and some other tips on just how to change that culture and really truly how to stick to your guns when doing it. So let's get into those tips. One of the things as a new manager, whether you're coming in from a different organization or you've moved up in the ranks, is to meet with every one of your employees right out of the gate. That's the first thing that you should be doing. If you are new to the organization, you're going to want to let your employees that you don't know very well, what kind of management style that you have. Do you have an open door policy? Do you believe in communication? Are you compassionate but not a therapist? Just be very clear on what kind of management style you have if you are new to the organization. Now, if you are new to the role as a new manager and you've been promoted to this role, your peers are now going to become your employees. So the best thing that you can do is let them know the relationship is going to change a little bit. They are now reporting to you and that they should have an expectation that will change, but that they should always still feel comfortable with coming to you with anything that they need to come to you for, whether it be an issue or question. Let them know that your door will always be open for them. It is also key to make sure that you let your employees know what your boundaries are and what you will not tolerate. As much as you want to be kind and gentle with this new relationship that you are forming, you also need to be very clear on where the boundaries start and what you will not be tolerating. The next piece of advice that I have for you is to stay consistent in your practices. Consistency is truly a key to forming a really good culture, because what happens when you're consistent is there are no biases. No one will think that you have a favorite or there is any favoritism going on. Everyone will see that you are going to give the same treatment to everyone that reports to you. You also have to remember, though, that not everything will be found in a rule book or your employee policy manual or in employment legislation or human rights legislation or privacy legislation or whatever it is that you're dealing with at the time. There may not be a black and white answer. So there are times where you may have to make a decision outside of policy, which is okay as long as you're consistent with the way that you make a decision, that you weigh out all your options, you take a good look at that individual situation, and you make an informed decision based on that, so that you have a good reason for why you are doing what you are doing. But truly, the key is to remember to be consistent. Stick to your guns. Is this making sense to you? Hit that like button to let me know that it is. And let me know in the comments below if you have any questions on any techniques that you have used. We all know that negativity can spread from anywhere. And if you have noticed that there is negativity spreading in your office, you need to find the source of that negativity first and foremost and stop it before it spreads any further. And once you've dealt with that negativity, you have to look to see where it has spread and who has taken on that negative culture. And then you need to stop that right away in its tracks as quickly as possible. You do not want that negativity to spread because it spreads fast. I don't know what it is about negativity, but people seem to hang on to it so much more than the positive side of things. So you want to get rid of that in the best way that you know how. And for more severe issues, follow your company's disciplinary process. This is something that I find a lot of new managers are kind of worried about doing. They don't want to have to deal with conflict. They don't want to have to resolve the conflict. They would rather hope that it just goes away, but it never just goes away. Use your disciplinary process. And what I would start with, because you're new, is just a conversation to sit down, whoever the troublemaker is, sit them down and have a conversation with them. Let them know what you've noticed. Listen to what they have to say and why they're acting in this manner, and then try to come up with a solution with them. If that doesn't work, then get into the disciplinary side of things. And the last thing that I want you to remember is that your good employees will resent you if you allow this poor behavior to continue. They will see what's going on. They might even come to you and let you know what's going on. And if you don't correct that behavior, you may end up losing them because they don't want to be around that anymore. Or they may end up resenting you and not following your instructions and not respecting you the way that you would hope that they would. So remember that not dealing with these things can have some major consequences in your department and organization. Are you interested in becoming part of my inner circle? If you are, in the description below, you can click on the link that says opt in to my email distribution list to become part of my inner circle. In that inner circle, you're going to get notifications of new videos. You're going to get notifications of any events that I have coming up. You will also receive tips and tricks, sometimes weekly, on different things that I've learned throughout the course of my career, which is like a 23-year career. So you'll get lots of information that way. By being a part of that inner circle, you get more than just being a subscriber to these videos. I still suggest that you become a subscriber so you can always be notified of the new videos that are coming up. But if you want a little bit more than that, opt in to become part of my inner circle. Did you like this video? If you did, please hit the like if you haven't already, and hit the subscribe button and that little bell beside it to get more videos like this. And be sure to check out my other 2 videos on reference checking and how to hire confidently. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.